Hey guys, this is Bill Siemantel. I'm up here in Lake Lanier, Georgia. We're here with the Tackle Warehouse guys. What a great fishery. Came in here the other day. Bad thing is tornadoes. If you watch the news, you guys are going to see this a little bit later on, but we got clobbered with tornadoes. We're on the backside of a huge front. We kind of find ourselves in the back of a bay. Now, I've never been up on Lake Lanier. This is my first time. So, you know, dock talk and stuff, there's some fish up on beds. I'm gonna actually go out, I'm gonna throw some swim baits. I'm gonna go back in some protected coves. Guys, don't forget it's a swim bait. You know, if you can throw a McRip, if you can throw a crankbait, a spinner bait up in coves and stuff around buckbrush looking for bedding fish, the swim bait does just as good a job. We're gonna look around for some stuff. If we find a good fish on a bed, I might tease it a little with the 6-inch BBZ. Might have to throw the little 2.5 in there to catch them. And then I think what happened is the water temperature and the air temperature dropped about 25 degrees overnight. I'm gonna pull back out. I think the fish are gonna be kind of slow until late afternoon. I'm gonna pull out. I'm gonna look for outside points, hopefully with some wind blowing on it. And if I could find some blueback herring and stuff on those points, I'm gonna take a 6-inch slow sink and I'm just gonna strain the water. I'm gonna test it from top to bottom. And we only have a few hours out here, but we'll see if we can put something together. Stay tuned. And like I said, just check out the vlogs every once in a while. You're gonna see some great baits we're doing, some great techniques over here in Tackle Warehouse. And hopefully we'll catch you a big spotted bass. I'm just looking right now, guys. I came up here a little too quick this morning and I had a couple fish sniffing. I don't know, it doesn't seem like they're on beds, but there are some fish up here by this brush. Yeah, so I'm just I'm looking, and the beauty of it is, you know, you take a slow sink or a floating, you know, 6-inch BBZ, sexy lavender shad. I mean, you got great visibility. The water's got good color anyways, you know, you can see down a few feet in here. But, you know, you just pay attention. I'm testing. I'm gonna see if anything follows it out. The neat thing about this with swim baits, if they follow it out, especially in the springtime if they're up on beds, man, I mean, what a way to find areas. I mean, you don't have to go up there and actually visually look for a bed. You sit there and go, oh yeah, there's a fish that just came up on my 6-inch. It's right there in front of that bush. You turn around, you take a soft plastic like a roboworm drop shot, and you throw right back in the area. And usually you catch those fish a lot quicker because they haven't even seen you at all. You already made them mad because you had a 6-inch bait come through their bed, and now you throw a little bait in there and they clobber it. So it is a great technique for searching in the springtime in shallow water. Yeah, it's so hard. We got the wind blowing around in here. So even side fish, that's why I love just throwing swim baits on any body of water. And guys, here's the one thing, and you know, I've said this so many times. I showed up yesterday for a few hours to check the lake out. Never been here before, like I said. And you'd be surprised on how many of the pros, when I tied this on and they said, you're not gonna catch it, this isn't a swim bait lake. So it's not swim baits. If I could say it 100 times to you, I'll say it another time. It's a technique. If you come to a lake, Lanier, I mean, Okeechobee, anywhere, and you know, you could throw a McRip and you could rip bait, the technique of ripping. You can do the same thing with the slow sink BBZ. It's just a different tool. So don't limit yourself and say, hey, you know, I can't catch them on swim baits. It's not the swim bait, it's the technique. If you're gonna slow roll something on the surface, you can use a swim bait just as easy as you can use a big topwater plug like a dog, you know, a dog 100. If you rip, the technique of ripping, you can do it with one of these baits just as you could with a mixed stick. If you wanna fish deep off outside points, you know, grab a fast sink and take it down there. So don't limit yourself on the idea of swim baiting. Look at it as a technique and just a tool, a versatile tool that you can use. I'm gonna burn through here. All I'm doing is I'm just checking real quick. The beauty of ripping, doing this type of technique, especially with the sexy lavender shad and the 6-inch, is you can cover water very fast. If anything's going to happen, it usually happens on the first or second cast, or at least pay attention and you're going to see it. The beauty of that white bait, I'm telling you, you're going to be able to focus on it and then you look around it to see if anything's coming in after it. So we're gonna burn through this real quick, and I think the weather just kind of really put the kibosh on these bedfish in here. So we're gonna turn around and we'll use the same bait and go out on some outside points in the wind. And I'll show you the same type of pattern for that pre-spawn, post-spawn idea. You know, when the fish stage on points, you know, here it's blueback herring, cast stake, it could be, you know, trout. Another lake, it could be gizzard shad. The whole thing is when these fish get targeting on bait on outside points on the pre-spawn and post-spawn, man, this is a great technique to use. So right after we check this out real quick, we're gonna go out there and see if we can get one of them to go out there. It's not just about going out and saying, hey, you know what, I'm gonna throw a big bait all day long, try to catch a fish, you know, try to be the hero, da-da-da-da. It's about picking up a tool, figuring out a technique that you're comfortable with.